something that's been on my mind for a little while. And I watched 2 games of the UAAP juniors, the juniors, and between NU and Ateneo. I'll be honest, the main reason I wanted to take a look at it is because of Kai Sotto. I wanted to see him play. I don't know very much about him other than his dad was a former teammate of mine. I'm very familiar with his dad. He's 7'1" and he's still not yet 16. So he probably, I don't know if he's done growing or not. He might have another inch or 2 still in him. And I wanted to get a look at him to see what he looks like. So, as you know by now, Ateneo was able to win. NU, to their credit, was able to win game 2, and they took Ateneo right down to the wire in the game, deciding game 3. And I think the only reason Ateneo's got a very talented team. I was very impressed with Dave Ildefonso. Very nice shooting stroke and some good qualities as a player. I liked him. But I really think the reason Ateneo won is because they have Kai Sotto on their team. It could have went either way, or NU might have been able to win that game. But if one team's got a 7-foot guy that's halfway decent and that likes playing basketball on their team, he had a very big putback. He had a couple times late where he got putbacks or he got fouled, and he was just tough to stop. But okay, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Ateneo juniors. Remarkable season, and congratulations to NU. You guys put up a heck of a fight, took it to game 3, took it to the last minute or 2 of the game. We're right there. So congratulations, and for the graduating guys, best of luck in their future endeavors. Now, what I was saying about Kai Sotto is that the Kai Sotto, he's obviously always intrigued me. He's a tall guy. Everyone's kind of looking at him to be the future. And I like looking at players and seeing where they can improve or how they might develop and make sure and think of ways to develop those guys. So Kai's obviously a guy I wanted to take a look at. But when I saw a couple weeks ago when they held some press conference and Chooks to Go was sponsoring him, he was going to be an ambassador and they were going to take care of his training abroad, and they had his dad sign a contract. They had this big press conference about it. The first thing in my head was, man, I don't think you can play college basketball in the States, because the way the NCAA, for right or wrong, this may change in the next 3 years, but you cannot have sponsorship deals. You know how Duran Tang was doing all these commercials and getting paid, and Keith Ravenna was doing all these things? You can't do that in the States. If you do that, you are ineligible. You can't play. So when I saw this big press conference, I was like, wow, they're throwing that option in the garbage by doing this with Chooks. Now, I'm sure there was some good reasoning for that. If they want to get Kai the best training, it's most likely going to have to be not here. And who's going to pay for that? Is he going to go over there alone as a teenager? Well, his family's going to have to go. Do they have relatives they can stay with, or are they going to have to stay at a hotel? Where is he going to stay? Where is he going to train? Who's going to pay for that? These things are expensive when you are in high school, when you are a teenager. Plane tickets to the States are expensive. Now you're looking at accommodations, not to mention just tuition, or not tuition, but a camp fee if you're going to send them to camp or to work out with a specific trainer. So that can be expensive. So I understand if you can have a company shoulder that should help the family out. If you're looking at it, I don't know what their financial situation is, but I understand the reasoning behind it. So I don't know what they're thinking. I know what Ateneo's thinking. Ateneo's thinking that they don't want him to play college ball in the States. They want to take advantage of his services here, I'm sure. But after watching him, a few things were very impressive to me. Like, he's 7'1", and he's pretty coordinated. I know everyone's talking about his weight, but he's not even 16 yet. If you're 7'1" and you're 15, you're not going to be a big, strong guy. You're going to be thin. That's just he will get strong enough, believe me, as he gets older. And especially if he focuses on that in the future, which he should. So his leanness isn't a concern of mine at all. But he has decent agility and he has a decent touch. Like, he was making his free throws. I saw him hit a couple mid-range shots. And most importantly, he looked like he enjoyed playing basketball. So I know these things sound basic. Might sound funny. We live in the Philippines. This guy has a lottery ticket because he's 7'1". Why wouldn't he like basketball? Well, I know a lot of guys that don't really like or they don't love basketball. They like playing basketball because they're good at it, or they're a good athlete, or they were big, so they give it a try. And they're better than most, so they play. There's a lot of guys like that. But to be good or really good to great at basketball or at anything, you have to really love it. So I was encouraged to see he looked to really like playing basketball. He had good agility. He had good touch. Now, with that said, I know he's got 2 more years in high school here in the juniors until he makes a decision on college. And I think and that's fine. That's fine. But I also think that the next 2 years in his college years are very, very important in his development. And by that, having grown up in the States, I would say that this upcoming July is very important for his development. And the next 2 Julys, because that's where summer basketball is in full swing. They're going to have big AAU tournaments. They're going to have big camps. And the best way to develop a big guy is he has to be pitted against people that are near or at his size. Now, that's going to be very hard to come by. You're not going to find that in the Philippines. Okay? It's going to be tough to find in the States. So you're going to have to go to some elite level camps, or you're going to have to get on the right AAU team in the right tournaments to play against guys that are your age and your height. So I hope that they're thinking about this, but I would definitely say, and I would consider looking at Europe too. You look at the Euro big men, and they've had very good success over the years of developing European big guys. But it's such a rare thing that to have, there aren't that many 7-footers out there. And to have a 7-footer that's playing basketball, you have to think, be on the ball as far as his development goes. And I don't know and people might not like to hear this, but I really don't know what playing in the UAAP, how that is going to help Kai Sotto be the best player he can be. Okay, I can tell you right now, he will be a good PBA player. I can tell you that right now, without question. He'll be a good PBA player unless he gets injured. But do you want more than that from him? Do you expect more than that from him? Well, if you do, you have to put him in the best situations to succeed. And I'm not saying that they're not. I don't know what they're doing, and I know Irvin's a former professional basketball player. He wants what's best for his son. But in Chicks to Go, hopefully they're going to provide or make suggestions, or hopefully they have somebody to advise them what would be best for him. So development, and if you're looking, people are already asking me, is he an NBA player? Is he an NBA prospect? Is he NBA? Well, if you look at the NBA today, the 7-footers, they have very unique roles, more than they ever had. And I've talked about the injury stuff in the past. But you either have those ultra athletic, tall guys that are rim runners, that are ball screeners, that are divers. You have that type, the DeAndre Jordans, your Tyson Chandlers, your Hassan Whitesides, your Rudy Goberts. You have that. And then you have your a little bit more versatile guys, your pick and pop guys, basically. Guys that you're either sucking the defense in or you're stretching the floor. Now, I'm not sure what Kai has a better chance of being. You know, if you're thinking NBA, it's tough because just to get on an NBA court nowadays, you have to be very agile. And being 7 feet tall and being agile and being able to guard the pick and roll is tough. These guys that just go down and post up and score with their back to the basket, they don't play anymore. They don't. I mean, if you think about it, where's Roy Hibbert? Where's Timothy Mozgov? Does Brook Lopez play for the Lakers? And he's very good at back to the basket. But these guys that aren't rim protectors that can score in the mid-range, can score in the post, they don't play anymore. So we'll see how, I don't want to go, I'm not negative at all. I think he's got a very bright future, but I think that obviously the next 2 to 6 years are very, very important to see what he's got, to improve, to put him against real competition, against real size, and see how he does. And it might be a humbling experience for him at first, but without pressure, without challenges, without adversity, you'll never be able to measure how great somebody can become. So I'm sure everyone has this in mind. I think that I don't like his posture, how he slouches over. I would like to see him stand up straight with his shoulders back. His agility, everything looks fine. He doesn't have to. He looks good for right now, but he's playing against, even though he's playing against guys that are older than him, he looks like the adult or the older guy out there, the way he was blocking shots the first game and the way he blocked some shots and is up by the rim. He needs to be exposed to guys his size, better competition and better size for him to develop and for everyone to assess where he really is. Because right now, him dominating the UAAP juniors isn't doing much. This year was fine, but they need to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there if they're serious about getting the most out of him and him fulfilling his potential and potentially helping the Gilas and the national team in the future. That's what I think everybody wants to see. Him playing in the UW, I say it again, him playing in the UAAP for college, I don't know how that would possibly help him. And there's no knock on the coaching here. I think they got good coaches here. I think Tab Baldwin's a great coach. There's going to be guys that will work with him to develop him. I'm talking as far as competition, as far as guys his own size. That's going to be tough to find here, even with the imports, even with guys bringing in the imports. No, I want to see him play against a 7-foot center and a 6'10" power forward. Or I want to see him play against a 6'8" athletic, strong guy that's ambitious, that's trying to make the NBA, come and help side, and a guy guarding him 6'10" doing the same thing. Is he going to be able to find that here? I don't know. But we wish him the best. We think he's got a bright future, and just how bright. That's all it is. And hopefully Chooks to Go is on that and has a plan and has some help, because just having him play here or just having him work out for a week here or a week there, I don't know. I don't know how that'll be. Definitely, if he could, the Julys, the next 2 years are very important, and then I would think playing at Division I college level in the States. But who knows? By now, maybe the NCAA won't be what it is right now. A lot of these guys, let's put it this way, the NBA prospects, people ask me about him if he's an NBA prospect. NBA prospects today basically at 19 go in the first round of the NBA draft. Okay? A lot of these guys now are thinking about not even going to college anymore. They're going to go straight to the G League they're going to make it so they can go straight to the NBA again. So now you're talking 18 years old, these guys are going to go professional. Those are NBA prospects. When I hear about an NBA prospect, it's a guy, who do you think of? There were 17 one-and-dones last year that went in the first round of the NBA draft. 17 out of 30. that's who's getting drafted. You know, you take out if you stay more than 1 or 2 years in college, you're basically not an NBA prospect. So in the States, what is that, 19, 20? Basically, if you're 21 years old and you're not playing professional basketball, you're not an NBA prospect. I know that sounds really young, but that's the way it is. That's what's happening now. And these guys are getting better, younger. So if you're looking at Kai Sotto, who's going to be 16, or he just turned 16, I'm not sure what it is, the clock is ticking. If you're thinking NBA. If you're not thinking NBA, if you're thinking PBA, fine. If you're thinking, even if you shoot for the NBA and you're a borderline NBA player, you're going to be able to help Gilas a lot. But if you've never played against legitimate size or guys your size, you might be a fish out of water when you actually do, if you're too late in your development. That would be something I would be concerned about. Let's see how it plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing how that does turn out. So, okay.
Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face right here. Don't forget to check out the important links in the description below. And for more Staying Major, click on the video over there. We'll see you next time.